For the purpose of this presentation, I have chosen to explore a priority health issue that is particularly relevant in today's digital and media-led world, that is body image and its effect on the mental health and well-being of children. National Eating Disorders define body image as the perception that a person has of their physical self, but more importantly, the thoughts and feelings the person experiences as a result of that perception. Body image can also include such physical features as disabilities, skin markings, skin and hair colouring, and physical aids like glasses, hearing aids, or even prosthetics. But in this case, we will focus more explicitly on body shape, size, and weight. As I am exploring body image through a mental health lens, it is important to understand that the negative emotions and feelings evoked by body image can be influenced by individual factors, but also heavily influenced by environmental factors. This may lead to further implications for children's mental health and well-being that I'll discuss later in the presentation. The Butterfly Foundation for Eating Disorders reports that body image is the #1 concern for young people under the age of 25. The statistics, as shown here, are somewhat confronting. Children as young as 6 do not like the way they look, and children as young as 8 want to be thinner. What piqued my interest from these statistics is that whilst the Butterfly Foundation report that 6% of adolescent boys experience significant distress due to negative body image, Eating Disorders Victoria reports that 20 to 25% of children affected by eating disorders are boys. So what is it that influences negative body image issues in children? First and foremost, the family, or more specifically the parent, is an influential factor in whether or not a child has a positive or negative relationship with body image. Gilliland even go as far as stating that the parent, a central agent in the child's development, often has been omitted as an influential factor when considering body image and its effects on young children. The implication this has on educators is that in a lot of cases, the influence is not necessarily obvious to the parents themselves. It may be as innocent as a daughter witnessing her mother's dissatisfaction with her weight gain, or even a father calling to his son to man up, or some other masculine-fueled phrase during team sports. Murray argues that given the intense manner in which bodies, both male and female, are on display in contemporary Western culture today, children of all ages regularly have the opportunity to see semi-naked, often sexualized images of bodies that are devoid of both fat and hair. Given today's digital age, children are consumers of magazines, music, videos, sports, and social media, all of which depict images of bodies that have been edited, cropped, and altered to be thinner, have clearer skin, larger muscles, and even brighter eyes. They are in fact subjected to an ideal image that in a world that isn't photoshopped can be unachievable for the majority. The media tends to also influence peer interaction on the topic of body image, as Alan explains on the Kids Matter website. If children are receiving the same mixed messages as witnessed on a favourite TV show or music video, for example, the risk is that these children will come together at school to discuss what they have seen, and this can result in the wrong ideas and behaviours being normalised. Therefore, it's important to acknowledge that we will be witness to children beginning school with preconceived notions of expected body images and possible issues with self-esteem. Robbins, Power and Burgess, 2013, explain that positive self-esteem is an important foundation as a child moves into larger social spheres beyond the family, like that of school, as it enables the child to confront life situations with confidence and optimism, which, according to Robbins, are the building blocks for wellness living. The Butterfly Foundation for Eating Disorders explains poor body image can have severe health implications for children, some of those being reduced exercise behaviours, mental health problems such as depression and high-risk taking behaviours, and disordered eating, which is unhealthy and destructive eating behaviours like skipping meals or not eating enough, and eating disorders such as anorexia and bulimia. Eating Disorders Victoria further explain that regardless of age, the fact remains that the health implications, as seen here on the slide, are about underlying emotions, not food. Changes in behaviour with food could identify a child who is having emotional and body image difficulties. Therefore, early intervention to reduce the onset of negative body image among young people is crucial. So, let's now turn to the Australian curriculum to see where and how body image is covered in the framework. Whilst the personal, social and community health strand and the mental health and wellbeing focus area of the curriculum is present from foundation through to secondary college, its reference to body image can be difficult to pinpoint. So if we go over to the overview, we've got the personal, social and community health strand here and the focus area of mental health and wellbeing. We'll scroll down to look at the focus area more explicitly. So it says it addresses how mental health and well-being can be enhanced and strengthened at an individual and community level. It's expected that all students at appropriate intervals across the continuum of learning from Foundation to Year 10 will learn about the following. If we go to the fourth dot point, it's body image and self-worth and their impact on mental health and well-being. We'll cross over here to the curriculum itself. The curriculum has body image and its effects on mental health positioned within its framework as a whole school approach, with content descriptions and elaborations that cover the topic from Foundation through to Level 10. I'll just focus on Foundation through to Level 6, being that I'm studying the Bachelor of Primary Ed. Throughout the curriculum levels, students are encouraged to identify and describe personal achievements and how those achievements contribute when exploring their sense of self and building their identities. This takes students' focus off body image as a defining attribute of their identity. I'll use Foundation as an example of this with the first content description here of identify personal strengths. Now if we go down to Level 1 and 2, you'll see that there are similar content descriptions here as there were with Foundation, but more specific to body image in this level is the content description down the bottom here. Recognise similarities and differences in individuals and groups and explore how these are celebrated and respected. This one in particular has great teaching and learning potential when considering children's body image, which I'll discuss later on in the presentation. So we'll jump now down to levels 5 and 6, and you will see that the content starts to include puberty, relationships and the media, all of which are highly influential when it comes to children's body image. For children at this level, it's also important for them to be mindful of negative peer influence on body image, and there's a need for students to be equipped to deal with situations such as experiencing body shaming, which is a tool for bullying both in children and adults, and the content description practice skills to establish and maintain relationships has an elaboration assessing the impact of different relationships on personal health and well-being, which suits that need. Finally, in this level, recognise how media and important people in the community influence personal attitudes, beliefs, decisions and behaviours. And thinking back to earlier when I was discussing the media's influence on body image issues in children, this one's highly important when teaching body image and its effect on mental health. So as you can see what I've just briefly shown you, whilst the curriculum doesn't have body image as a specific focus point, there is allowance for it in the content descriptions throughout the personal, social and community health strand. When thinking about ways we can provide successful teaching and learning experiences focusing on body image in the classroom, Snow's article, Fostering Positive Body Image in Children and Youth, whilst is now 15 years old, still offers many effective approaches which can be seen on the slide. Classroom-based instruction can involve the use of programs and resources sourced outside of the school in conjunction with discussions. Programs and resources obviously will vary depending on where you are in the world, but can include things such as books, lesson plans, local resources. And the aims of such programs is to provide students with knowledge about healthy diets and self-image, as well as how to identify the warning signs of eating disorders and where to look for help for themselves or friends. Snow also proposes facilitated group discussions whereby students are allocated into small groups, some of which are gender specific, in the hopes that they are inspired to open up and share more on their thoughts and feelings related to body image. Artistic activities are a fantastic way to foster the development of a healthy body image in the early years classroom. Snow describes an activity that could easily be implemented in the classroom, involving students tracing their body outlines onto large pieces of paper, to which they'll then add personal details such as faces, hair and clothes. The murals are placed next to each other on the wall before a discussion into the differences and similarities between the images, which links back to the content descriptions back in levels 1 and 2 of the curriculum. And finally, Snow explains that another way to foster a healthy body image is to teach children and youth about the benefits of eating for health. And an engaging way to do that is to visit local establishments that can offer information and experiences, such as perhaps a restaurant, to partake in creating a balanced, healthy meal, or alternatively inviting guest speakers into the school, such as nutritional counsellors or dietitians, to discuss nutrition, hygiene, what kind of food growing bodies need, and even building self-esteem and confidence. And teaching these skills in the classroom can help develop a healthy body image school culture. As Alan explains on the Kids Matter website, when social and emotional learnings are explicitly taught in the classroom, they tend to filter into the whole school environment. When searching for a resource or program that's been developed specifically for teaching and learning about body image, I initially thought it might be hard to find something to be useful within a primary school context. Most of the content seems to be aimed at teenagers and young adults, but as discussed throughout the presentation, there's enough research there to prove that children as young as 6 years of age are affected by issues of body image. So I was looking for a resource or program that implements a whole school approach whilst also helping to foster a health promoting schools or HPS approach towards body image. One of the HPS components, partnerships and services, as described by McQuaig, refers to partnerships between the school and the local and wider community, and thus I began researching organisations that were able to provide workshops or resources for teaching about body image for primary students. Early in the presentation, I referred to the Butterfly Foundation for Eating Disorders. This foundation represents people affected by eating disorders and negative body image and also delivers positive body image workshops to schools. The foundation also has a strong media presence when advocating and raising awareness of negative body image and eating disorders. They currently have a Don't Diss My Appearance, Paint Your Middle Finger for May campaign running, which aims to encourage people to take a stand for appearance-based judgment and negative body image. So this is the workshops that they provide for schools, and they've got things from years 3 to grade 6, and they cover topics such as how special and unique we are, our feelings and the amazing things our body can do, down to key influences that can impact a young person's body confidence, including friends. And they do these through presentations and workshops which are interactive. So when considering the points I discussed earlier about ways to successfully provide teaching and learning experiences about body image, the Butterfly Foundation school workshops tick a lot of the boxes. It offers classroom-based instruction, facilitated group discussions, artistic activities in the form of role-play and games, and provides guest speakers whom are specialists in the field. Now, bearing in mind the principles of health promotion as St Ledger has defined them, whilst the workshops foster community collaboration, works with people rather than on them, addresses the determinants of body image and mental health, and emphasises the positive aspects of mental health within the topic. It doesn't address all aspects of health in that there's no mention of physical nor spiritual health. However, I still believe this program to be a highly valuable resource when tackling this topic in the classroom. As educators, we are in a very powerful position when it comes to health education. Children spend a significant amount of time at school, and as teachers we are able to model healthy behaviours. This is especially important to keep in mind when approaching the topic of body image. Throughout the presentation, I have highlighted some of the statistics in relation to children and negative body image, and to be honest, they did surprise me, especially the fact that children as young as 6 are affected by issues of body image. Excuse me. However, I was pleased to learn that the Australian curriculum does make provisions for the topic to be taught in our schools. I've always been concerned with body image due to my own personal experiences, but until now I didn't realise that topics such as these were part of the curriculum. Finally, I can see the importance of undertaking a whole school approach when approaching topics such as these, which I feel the curriculum standards do, as they focus on identifying and celebrating differences and similarities in appearance of the people around us and encourage students to consider the way they respond to peer appearance, which may affect mental health. Children's body image and its effect on mental health, whilst more specific, is a considerably large topic within the priority health area as highlighted by the new Australian curriculum. It is definitely a topic to be given attention to in our classrooms, and I look forward to implementing some of the strategies I have learnt in researching this presentation in my future teaching practice. I leave you now with some of the references used throughout the presentation. Thank you.